Hello watch friends, Louis from the Whole Cut here. The so-called Paul Newman Daytonas are some of the most sought after vintage Rolexes on the market, sometimes commanding price tags in the hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. The Paul Newman moniker refers to Daytona models with exotic dials manufactured by Jean Saint-Germain, because actor Paul Newman famously wore one. According to respected grey market seller Bob's Watches, the defining characteristics of Paul Newman Daytonas are their stepped contrasting minute track rings, the Art Deco style font that is used for the numerals on the subdial chronograph registers, and the shorter block style hour markers with luminous dots placed at the ends, which sit within the contrasting colour minute track ring. There is no doubt that some vintage Daytonas are amazingly beautiful chronographs, but prices are pretty crazy. This is the Nivada Grenchen Chronoking Paul Newman. It is a modern interpretation of the Nivada Chronoking 85008 from the 1970s, which also featured a dial manufactured by Jean Saint-Germain and contained a manual winding Valjoux 72 chronograph movement. The dial aesthetic is extremely similar, but the Paul Newman link is somewhat tenuous, even if the original Nivada watch dial was made by the same factory. This modern interpretation ditches the tonneau case and swaps the unusual bezel for something more modern looking. The manual wind movement has been switched for a Seiko Mecha Quartz VK63A, which is a compromise that helps to keep the retail price down to $479 US. I know a lot of enthusiasts dislike Mecha Quartz, but the same watch with a mechanical movement, other than perhaps the Seagull ST1901, would likely cost at least 4 or 5 times the price. I've been pining for this watch for ages. I foolishly passed on the pre-order, and now it's completely sold out on the manufacturer's website and commanding a little bit of a premium on the secondary market. So I did pay over the odds for this. I paid £506 including shipping, but I forgot to factor in customs duties and VAT, as the seller was based in the EU, so it was closer to £600 all in compared to around £460 direct from the Nivada Grenchen website. It was a silly mistake, but a lesson learned for sure. Well, that's enough rambling. Let's take a closer look at this beautiful watch. Of course, I have to start with the wonderful dial. The dial is everything. As much as we harp on about cases and crystals and movements and bracelets, it's the dial that truly makes or breaks a watch, and this one is special. The flat black dial with its 3 gold coloured subdials and orange chapter ring looks incredible. The subdials have a concentric circular pattern, making them look a bit like symbols, which adds a bit of further visual interest, as do the orange baton hour markers, orange chronograph hand, and pencil handset with faux patina lume. The dial also features a tachymeter scale, which is a little bit more unusual to see and helps to differentiate it just a little bit from other famous chronographs. The case is made from 316L stainless steel with a signed crown and 2 unsigned chronograph pushers. It has a lovely mix of brushed and polished finishes. I really like the brushed edges between the tops of the lugs and the sides of the case. It does have drilled lugs, which I'm not a biggest fan of, but it's not a huge deal. The 60-minute timing coin edge bezel is matte black with silver markers. No faux patina lume here, which I appreciate. I think it might have been overkill to apply it here too. It is bi-directional and it does move around quite a bit under the cuff, which isn't ideal. There's a double dome sapphire crystal with anti-reflective coating, which completes the vintage look. The case back is embossed with the Nivada Grenchen branding and watch specifications, and the watch is rated 100 meters water resistant. The movement is the aforementioned Seiko Mecha Quartz VK63A, which provides Japanese reliability and a sweeping chronograph hand. You do get that pretty useless 24-hour subdial, which a lot of people seem to despise with a passion. There is also a ghost date position, which is a minor annoyance. I'll be honest though, I'm a poser. I buy watches for the way they look, and I'll probably never use the chronograph function. What I will say though is that these Seiko Mecha Quartz movements can be found in watches much cheaper than this, so if the movement is a big deal for you, that's something worth bearing in mind. Mine came on this rally style black leather strap, which is really lovely. It measures 20mm wide at the lugs and tapers to 16mm at the signed stainless steel buckle. It comes with a quick release mechanism, which I like, but the watch also has the drilled lugs, which doesn't make much sense with this strap, though I assume the drilled lugs are there to accommodate the other straps and bracelets that were available if you pre-ordered this watch. Let's quickly run through the dimensions. The case is 38mm in diameter, with a thickness of 13.7mm and a lug width of 20mm, and the lug to lug measurement is 46.5mm. The dimensions will please a lot of people, as this will be wearable on almost any wrist. Even I can pull it off on my tiny 6-inch wrist. So what's my verdict on this watch? Well, I think it's hard to design a good looking chronograph watch that doesn't look like a Daytona clone or a Speedmaster clone, yet if you veer too far from those classic designs, you risk making something that alienates enthusiasts completely. The Chronoking Paul Newman has just enough personality to be its own thing, while still giving the people what they know, love and want. In the micro-brand era of outsourced manufacturing, with brands using the same factories to produce the same cases and the same crystals and the same bracelets and the same off-the-shelf movements, it's often hard to tell brands apart. I appreciate a brand that is a bit more bold in its design. This isn't going to be everyone's cup of tea, but if it is yours, you're getting something that doesn't look like much else on the market right now. I did overpay for this watch, but apart from that, I don't really have any major complaints. It's relatively affordable and attractive, and a lot cooler than most chronograph watches on the market right now. Let me know in the comments what you think. That's all I've got time for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you again next time.